Okay, Foothill Knolls, so I'm making this video for you guys because I just signed my contract yesterday for another instructional aid temporary year, and I'm super excited because I get to share with you guys more of the wellness pieces and just helping kids and students and you guys to learn more and more about the brain and the body and how we can help kids self-regulate and all that stuff. So with the wellness pieces that Jennifer wants to set in place, I'm hoping that this video will be a tool of education for you, and so that you won't have to sit in another meeting. I'll put this in Google Classroom so that you guys can watch it back anytime you want with all the things that I'm going to tell you. So currently I'm enrolled in an EFT class to get certified, and I'm learning a whole lot of things about how the brain and the nervous system interact with each other, and how we as educators can help our students to calm down and reconnect, and it's amazing. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay, so that being said, the first thing that I want to share with you is that there's a doctor by the name of Amy Apigian. Okay, so Amy Apigian, A-P-I-G-I-O-N. You can look her up, and she is a doctor that does a lot of work on the nervous system. And I quote her, and she says, "The nervous system affects all the other systems of the body." Okay, so we in education, we have to start educating ourselves and our students and our parents on how to repair the nervous system. And EFT does that. EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique for the classroom, helps with keeping the nervous system healthy and regulated. So research on the brain, there's a guy named Jim Quick. If you look him up on social media, he's all over social media. He's called like the brain guy. And he is now coupling with other people who have done tremendous research on the brain and showing how technology is revamping and reshaping our brains. And he is talking about how technology is putting our brains in a constant state of reactivity, and we are just unable to focus and calm down. And so Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT, really helps in recalibrating the mind and the successes with it. So we're going to be teaching our students the techniques to slow the brain down, slow the body and the nervous system down in order to manage emotions, think clearer, and focus better and deeper. And so far, I want to show you what I've been journaling this morning, because I just want to talk to you like I'm talking to a friend. And so this morning I was journaling about doing like the parent pieces and talking to parents, and I was reflecting on basically the success that we've had at Foothill Knolls and some of the success I've had at other schools with doing the tapping at other schools. And here is all the amazing things that I was journaling that EFT helps with, and I'll just read it to you. So the successes that we've seen with EFT are that it helps kids self-regulate. It raises test score because it reduces and lowers test anxiety. It helps students with self-acceptance, helps with self-love. It helps with kids feeling heard and listened to and cared for. They feel safe. They have acceptance of others. It helps kids focus better. It helps them in relationships when they have problems in relationships. It builds teamwork. They gain instructional time. That's a big one. It calms anxieties, and kids feel normal and they feel empowered. So wow, who wouldn't want all of those things for our students and for ourselves, for that matter? Me, I do. So the next thing I want to talk about is, like, what's the goal here? Why do we want to use EFT in the classroom? And here are the reasons why. So first, the first reason would be love. Second, power. Third, time. And fourth, self-regulation. So what I mean by love is students feel loved, safe, and important, and here at school and in the world when we use this technique in the classroom. Second, by teaching this, we teach kids that they have the tools and the power in their tool belt to help them manage their emotions, their bodies, and their minds. So that's the power. Third, they gain time. They gain instruction time, and they gain self-esteem. And in doing so, they gain even more time not worrying about like different relationships because they've given their body permission to feel what it feels, and they kind of get through it. So they don't lose time. They're gaining so much time by being okay with what's going on. And the fourth thing is self-regulation. When kids feel in control of their bodies and are calmer, they can focus better, and they're naturally going to do better in class and in life. Show me a teacher who pays attention to how a kid feels, and I'll show you a kid who feels safe and loved and important. Okay? So we have to start giving our kids permission to feel what they feel. So we as educators, we're so busy implementing curriculum and learning a new curriculum, or now I have to teach this and I have to implement that, and we really don't have time to address feelings. But with everything going on in the world and all the shootings that have been happening and just the mess that's going on in our world, we have to slow down, and we have to start giving kids permission to feel what they feel and give that a place to go. Our society is really, really, really good about ignoring feelings and avoiding feelings for some reason. That's just kind of how our culture is, and we'd rather numb it. But what we're finding is, for example, last year at Foothill Knolls with the SPED class, kids who are in special needs class tend to not have the same apprehensions and worries about what they look like doing the tapping. So other kids in general ed might be a little like, oh, this is weird, why am I tapping on my face? But these kids don't have those inhibitions, so they were able to have way more success than some of the other students that I've had who were more concerned, even at like kindergarten, second grade, worried about what they look like in front of others. And it's like, I don't remember as a kid ever being worried about what I looked like in front of my peers at like second grade or even first grade or kindergarten. But these kids are already, because of social media, because of the fact that they're comparing themselves to the world, they see all these YouTubers, they want to be like YouTube, they want to be famous and all this stuff. They're not just comparing themselves to the person next to them in the classroom, they're comparing themselves to the world. And that's so much stress to put on a kid. And these kids are feeling like, oh, this is weird. But what the success we had in Katie's class was phenomenal. Kids were helping each other, even if they weren't the ones doing the tapping all the time because they feel like they didn't need it. They were the ones going to the others and saying, oh wait, I'll help you tap. Let's tap right now. Let's help you calm down, because you're safe. This is a situation where you don't need to be upset. It's okay, we'll help you. And it was amazing. I just want to cry thinking about it because of all the sweet stories that we have from last year. And if you ever want to hear some of them, I'd be glad to share another video with you that I have, an interview that I did with Katie and Maria last year. So I'll put that in Google Classroom as well. Okay. So what I want to talk about now is, for those of you who forgot, I really want to kind of go into what is EFT for the classroom. So I just want to explain the bare minimum, and not the bare minimum, but I want to explain basically what it is, what we're doing. We're basically coupling basic mindfulness with EFT tapping. And basic mindfulness is, I feel what, because of what, and what can I do about it? I can tap about it, okay? So no matter what's going on in your classroom, we all know as educators, we get stuck in a situation where everybody's walking in and so-and-so just had a fight with so-and-so on the playground, but you gotta teach, but then they're freaking out, and then the other kids wanna come up and tell you the story, and okay. So it just happens. It happens all the time. So you, as the teacher in the room, you get to say, okay, the room is feeling what, because of what, and what can we do about it? Well, we can calm everybody down. We can just say, even though, we can tap on the points, validate the feelings in the room, even though this upsetting thing happened on the playground, it's okay. We're all safe, we're all loved, we're all important. I love myself, I accept myself, and we can move on. And even though I might not have got to explain my full story, and tell everybody what happened, that's okay. I'm gonna be okay. So giving them permission to have that fight or that disagreement, but not always having to like hash it all out right then and there, because we do have to move on with class. And then in a quieter moment, you can address the situation privately with the students once you get everybody else rolling on what they need to do. But that's just one example of how you couple basic mindfulness with EFT tapping. So you just calm everybody down in the room and then move forward. So basic mindfulness, the I feel what, because of what, and what can I do about it, is a way also to kind of do a SU scale. A SU scale is, the technical term is subjective units of something, I forget. And it basically is a way for you to identify on a scale from 1 to 10, where's the energy level at and where do I want it? Is that a level 10 or do I want it at like a level 0? Okay, so we want our classroom to be about a 0, 1, or 2 throughout the day. We don't just want to be at 10, 9 all day long. So that's what basic mindfulness does for the classroom.